morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Dr. Soul Brother here with another show with a remedy to help cure your ills. I want to get straight to the point here, and I want some feedback from y'all on my channel. Positive feedback. You got any legitimate questions? I'm open for that. But you come on here grifting and all that kind of stuff, you will be blocked. Tell you straight like that, you will be blocked. Um, Here's my thing. When we look at the month of June, which is known or has been known for Black Music Month, but unfortunately, it's been pushed to the back burner with a whole bunch of other stuff that's happening. You know, though it's June is Black Music Month, it's a thing where it's not just the month of June where our Black music that we've created in this country should be recognized. I mean, that's great to do it there, just like Black History Month. Black History is every day. As a teacher that I had when I was 13 years old said that Black History is every day. Um, it's really important for us to embrace the music that we've created in America and other things that we've created because we are the culture. That's not trying to be a flex, and that's not trying to be um, you know, rude, arrogant, egotistical, and none of that. It's the fact. We, Black America, is the culture. But before I go too deep into that, I want to say this. I think it's important. While I appreciate, folks saluting things like the microphone check film and other things and recognizing your ethnicity slash nationality and all the rest of it. And that's good. That's important. I salute you for that. But at the same time, it's important that those of you who became that way last night, it's high time for you to engage in some, how can we say, confession, similar to what the Catholics do when they go into confession. Like Father, I have sinned, etc. Well, um, you've created a problem. Those of you, and you know who you are, who were heavily influenced by the quote unquote conscious community, and you developed a negative outlook as it relates to your ethnicity and nationality to the point where you would make comments, and you know who you are. I'm not an American. I'm not a Black American. I'm not an African American slash Afro American. I am uh, what did somebody say? A refugee, an orphan, etc. When you make remarks like that, you open the gate for others who don't come from here to disrespect you. And not only that, in addition to that, I should say, another problem comes in, and that is um, it leads to disrespect, and it also you end up exhibiting white accommodationist outlook, attitude, not revolutionary. That is not those kind of remarks are not revolutionary by no stretch of the imagination. In fact, in many ways, what you're saying is the white folks are right, and I know my place because again, y'all might have heard me say this before, but I'll say it again at the risk of sounding like a broken record. But I'm gonna keep beating this drum because it's real. When you think and talk like that, the white racists laying in the cut are saying yes, yes. That's what you're doing because the Richard Spencers of the world, the what's his face, the David Dukes of the world, and others of that ilk, that is music to their ears. And it's almost like a man who's in a restaurant and there's a woman who's his waitress, and or he's in a nightclub and sitting at a table, and there's a woman who comes along and wants to know what he gonna be drinking. And he looks at her and she's so fine. He said, where have you been all my life?" Well, I'm saying that to say this: when you make remarks like that, these white racist bastards, they look at you like, man, where have you Negroes been all my life? We've been wanting this to happen. We've been wanting. Now, again, white accommodations. So let's go into this. This attitude, again, towards music and hip hop in particular, um, is problematic due to people who are, let's say, of the silent generation and the baby boomers. Both of you combined are a problem as it relates to this. You wonder, well, how? This is how. I don't like all that rapping ish kind of thing. I remember those comments, and this is before we talking about gangster rap. I'm talking about when it was just rap, like Rappers Delight, um, Grandmaster Flash. Well, let's look at Rappers Delight, which was that was a party song. They didn't like that, and so um, that kind of negative outlook as it relates to rap music opened the gate for some of these foreigners, Jamaicans in particular, to engage in a theft, if you will, regarding the music. That's a problem. So, fortunately, we're now in a space where people are, engaging in reclaiming our stuff. Because again, we are America. Well, like Langston Hughes said, I too am America. I want everybody to know and understand that. I also want to talk about and mention this in passing that this whole Kendrick Lamar uh, battle with what's his name, Drake, out of Canada. I have no problem with it. I heard the song and I saw the video. More power to our brother Kendrick. He's spot on. And I don't want to hear from these people, well, we're all black at the end of the day. Well, guess what? You weren't talking that ish before. All of a sudden, when there's pushback, now all of a sudden it's a problem. It's almost like when a black person gets on a white person for being racist and they hem them up real tough. Then the white person says, well, at the end of the day, we're all God's children. Tell your people that. Why are you saying that when there's a pushback? Oh, that's straight up cowardice. And it means you sign off on the mess. But no, Kendrick Lamar's diss toward, he's straight out of Compton, California, towards Drake, a Canadian cat who has roots in America by way of his father, because I believe his father come out of Tennessee or somewhere here in the U.S. That this is justified because Drake drew first blood. He drew first blood, just like the rest of these cops. The reason why they drew first blood, they're able to draw first blood, is because, unfortunately, a segment of Black America opens the gate for that. Now, when I say this, I'm by no means trying to uh, defend these clowns who are out of pocket. But what I'm trying to get people to understand, I'm gonna keep beating this drum till y'all get it. Um, the fact of the matter is, these people uh, when they heard you say this is not our country, I'm not an American. Um, you guys have more African retention than we do, meaning the black folks who were there in the Caribbean, be they Anglophone or Francophone Caribbean. You guys have more. What do you think that does? And simultaneously saying we don't have a history, we don't have a culture, we don't have a country. Um, this is not my. I'm not an American, etc. What does that do? That helps to further embolden them. I keep telling y'all this over and over again. How many times we have to keep going through this? And the fact of the matter is, Black America, segment of Black America, you, Mr. Black America, you, Miss Black America, were the first ones to kick that off. And I'm old enough to remember that. And if you were around in the 80s and the 90s, you remember that. It was black folks with roots here who were doing that, not the black foreigners. And when the black foreigners started doing it, they started doing it after hearing you. You and your reckless mouths. That's the fact. Now, this guy who's a rapper named Ike, I think that's how you pronounce it, Ikey. I'm not sure what the proper pronunciation is, but this is a guy born in Harlem, New York, raised in Nigeria, and is now living in Maryland, from what I understand. He made a song 4 years ago in 2020, the year of the pandemic. Stay away from the Akata. Stay away from the Akata. The first time I heard that term was watching the movie Sugar Hill with Wesley Snipes. I didn't know what an Akata was. What is this? Oh man, that's jacked up. But he's in this song, this rapper, this Harlem-born rapper raised in Nigeria, meaning he doesn't have roots here. He goes into what was taught to him by his parents and others from that community about Black American, and to refer to Black Americans as Akata is not a compliment. It's insulting. It's insulting. So I want to sit right here and encourage my fellow Black American brothers and sisters to go into confession regarding um, uh, your outlook on your lineage slash heritage in these United States. If you would truly be honest, you would have to admit, this is not everybody, but you know who you are. Prior to all of this recent embracing of the American heritage and lineage in these United States, you had a negative one. And you had a negative one because you had been influenced by your fellow Black American brothers and sisters who were part of the conscious community. And they helped to further embolden those African and Caribbean folks who may have been on the fence or came out the gate having a negative outlook, and then they just got further emboldened because of your reckless mouths. Again, your tongue have been a problem, a straight up problem, and we can no longer have that. And thank God, people are finally starting to wake up and give pushback to this stuff. Which brings me to another thing. It's interesting to note that you have these folks who are the so-called black intelligentsia, and you know who they are on social media and other C-SPAN and other like the academic world. These folk are a disgrace because they are contributing to this mess. They have not given any pushback. Don't you find it interesting that um, when this guy told my say stay away from the economy, where were they? Where were their voices? They were nowhere to be found. They see this on social media. They've chosen to say nothing. Why? Because ultimately, at the core, they concur with it. Because again, for the umpteenth time, they see themselves as inferior to African and Caribbean folk. So I want to again encourage us to go into confession like the Catholics regarding your original outlook on your heritage and lineage. And when you think negative about your ethnicity, you won't be inclined to research your lineage. I'm going to say that again. When you think negative about your ethnicity, you won't be inclined to research your lineage. I should also add, if you think negative about your ethnicity as well as nationality, you won't be inclined to research your lineage. And the thing is this, the days are gone now. I want everybody under the sound of my voice, folk, foreign and or domestic, who are in the clouds, who hear Dr. Soul Brother talking right now. Influential Black America has been nationally and internationally um, been a thing. Black America has been nationally and internationally influential. So folk need to stop this shaming and guilting us of our American identity. We have made great contributions, not just in terms of music, a host of other things, um, things that we've created here in the United States, whether it be terminology, whether it be a host of other things that other people have tried to copy, they've tried to mimic. And you want me to give this up? Hey, my American passport is my gold card, just like it's yours. My American citizenship is my gold card. No, I wear that. That's my badge, and I wear that as a badge of honor. Okay, and so should you. Encourage that with your family. Encourage that. No, there are things we have been um, like the stone that the builder refused would be the head cornerstone. That has been Black America. That has been Black America. So these folks who want to try to shame and guilt us of our American identity as well as our ethnicity, shame on them. You need to go in a corner somewhere and get in the thinker and keep your mouth shut. Keep your mouth shut. You are way out of pocket. Way, way out of pocket right now. Okay? So I'm going to wrap this up and say go back through the crates of the music that we have created, whether it's music that you enjoy today or whether it's music from yesteryear. Go back and talk to people in your family who are still alive, who have all their faculties, who are up in age. Drill their heads like you're drilling for oil, the way I did with my one of my grandmother's cousins who is 100, soon be 101 years old. I did that a couple of months ago down south. That's important. That's very important. Put some respect on this. Put some respect on the American identity, the Black American identity. That's important. There's much to be prideful of, much. Okay, and the fact that other people want to try to be like us in some form or fashion, that should tell us something. So with that, I'm going to end it and look to hear from me um, within the next few days or so, because I'll be coming back at you again with some more stuff. Because I am determined to put batteries in our backs, batteries, and and I encourage you parents to sit down with your children and raise them up and tell them to hold their heads up high and put their chests out because what they represent is what other people are trying to be like. So what does that tell you? What does that tell you? So I'm going to end it here. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the uh, comment section. Love to hear from you, but don't be rude and disrespectful because again, Dr. Soul Brother will block you. I'll do that without hesitation. And please, please, anybody, let me know how I can um, uh, get StreamYard or something where I want to be able to do live shows, because I want to be able to engage folks. That's going to be important. And when I do a live show, we're going to go longer than those 15 minutes. We're going to go for maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours or so. But that's important. So let me end it here. And until the next time, God bless.